Hey guys, Joshua here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Omnidesk ecosystem. It's time to take a refresh look at the Omnidesk since they launched their first iteration about a year plus ago. If you haven't actually checked that video out, I'll link to that in the description box below so you can go take a look at it. Today, we're going to be taking a look at two versions of the Omnidesk. The first one being the Omnidesk Zero, which is the one currently behind me, and later on we'll take a look at the Omnidesk Pro. For the Omnidesk Zero I have the 48-inch light eco bamboo top, and trust me, it looks amazing in real life. Pictures and possibly even videos completely don't do it justice. It just looks gorgeous. The tabletop is solid and has a nice feeling to the touch, but if you want complete accuracy when using a mouse for gaming, you definitely need to get a mousepad. Coming back to how solid it is, I really appreciate something sturdy like this because I have got some tabletops from IKEA, no shade there. Some of their tables may be cheap, but they are unable to hold any substantial weight. Put a monitor or PC on the table and the tabletop will sag within a few months, and the ones that are sturdy are on the much pricier side. Anyways, I'm digressing. The Omnidesk Zero legs are pure black, and this particular one is electric height adjustable from the lower setting of 70 cm, and you can rise all the way up to a max height of 118 cm, and you're controlling it with this controller that you can also preset up to 4 heights for easy access. The entire structure is incredibly stable, even at its max height. When using it for work, games, there's barely any wobble. On the top, there is a cutout where you can thread your cables through down to the cable management bar below, so you can keep the cables neat and tidy and out of your way. You'll notice that there is a power bar stuck to the bottom of the table, and this is one of the add-ons that I'll get into a bit later on. For the cables and power brick that actually power the Omnidesk Zero, they are now this spring elastic type cable and are hidden as much as possible between the metal frame of the electric legs. Since we're down here, the legs are extendable, so if you want to actually change out the tabletop to a larger one in the future, it is possible. If you don't need the electric height adjustable function, they actually have a standard fixed height, and those legs have a fixed height of 73.6 cm, and this obviously comes in at a cheaper price. So I'll link their website down below if you're interested, and you can go check out their pricing because they do run quite a bit of sales. Moving on to the Omnidesk Pro, the configuration I have here is the 72-inch classic straight edge, and if you're comparing this to the 48-inch on the Omnidesk Zero, this is going to look humongous. For me personally, because I like using ultra-wide screens and also having my PC on the table with me, this is the perfect size because I can even have all of my other gadgets like my iPad, stuff like that, research material, etc. on the table with me. Back to the tabletop. Even though it is longer, it is still as sturdy. One, it's definitely due to the MDF wood material that was used to build this, and secondly, the metal frame on the bottom which spans the entire length, so you can be sure that there will be no sagging or bending of the tabletop. The material used for the micro-textured powder-coated top is so that their black, white and pink tops essentially enable the tabletop to just be a giant mousepad. Anywhere you want to use your mouse, you can use it and it's accurate enough, left, right, center, wherever you put it. The Omnidesk Pro is slightly different from the Omnidesk Zero. First off, the legs have a slanted ending to them, which to me this slight design change just makes it sleeker, and the legs on this go from a minimum of 60 cm to 125 cm, which is about a 17 cm difference from the minimum to maximum height. They also feel very stable, even though there's this longer tabletop on top of it, and it's really steady, so I can actually do whatever I want at any height without any worries. The way they hide the wires and cable brick on the Omnidesk Pro is also a lot cleaner. They have a cover that goes over the bottom frame to hide the wires, so it looks so much cleaner if you're looking at it from the bottom. Personally, I would definitely go for this Omnidesk Pro option just because I like my wires to be out of sight and out of mind. Other than that, it is mostly the same. You have the same programmable controller with 4 presets that you can program, cable cutout pass-through that goes down to the cable management bar underneath the table, and yeah, that about covers the differences and similarities of the Omnidesk Pro and Omnidesk Zero. My thoughts on this are that if you have the budget, definitely go for the Omnidesk Pro just because to me, the slight differences may make a much larger impact in the long run. But if you're on a budget forget about going to any, say, random furniture store, go for the OmniDesk Zero, I'd venture to say it is a solid investment just because of the ecosystem that they've actually built around the OmniDesk, which let's get into that right now. There are quite a few accessories that they've released for this ecosystem. The obvious one that you've seen is the power bar under both the tables that I've shown, and if you need a power clamp on top of the table so you can actually plug your chargers in or charge batteries, things like that, they do have one that has USB charging with ports and even HDMI and USB pass-through. On the subject of power, the tabletop wireless charger that they are actually selling also helps maintain this clean no wires look if that's what you're going for, and because it's hidden underneath the table, there's actually no physical pad needed on the top for the wireless charging, which is awesome. As I mentioned earlier, for the Eco Bamboo top, you will need a mousepad, so you can just pick up one of theirs, which is the Nexus Mini XXL mousepad, or if you're the kind that just needs a mousepad instead of just relying on this powdered surface, you can also pick this up. Speaking of the OmniDesk Zero, to save space, there's a headphone holder that can actually clamp to the table to hold your headphones, so you actually save some space here for when you're really strapped for space. They have a rolling mount, which makes setting your PC down anywhere you like in terms of adjustability a lot easier because you can just roll it here and there everywhere. For standing, there is the Atlas anti-fatigue mat that they sell, and the surprising thing to me is it actually does make it a lot more comfortable to stand for a longer period of time, which was quite interesting. Also, if you have a monitor with less adjustability in terms of height, or would like to use your laptop with, say, a Bluetooth keyboard, Bluetooth mouse, and need the screen to be higher, in the OmniDesk ecosystem there is the Lift Classic, which just looks classy with its glass top and silver legs. Last but not least, for the RGB fanatics out there, you can opt to have the RGB light strip around the OmniDesk for all of your RGB bling needs. Whew. Okay, that's it for the accessories so far, and I think this video is getting a bit long, but I do want you to know exactly what you're getting into if you want to get into this OmniDesk table and ecosystem, which to me, they've actually really upped their game since a year ago. They've added a ton of items and also improved on the design, stability, and entire ecosystem with their accessories. I'll also be building a few desk setups around these desks, so do stay tuned. Before I end this video, they were actually kind enough to let me show off a unit that they have in the works, which is this OmniDesk L design. So it is the OmniDesk, but with the L design in here, and with this, you get even more space. Yes please. And for applications, I'm definitely gravitating towards the idea of having the PC on the side of the table for streamers. When you use a face cam, the PC can also be showcased, something along those lines. Anyways, this isn't the final design, but it already looks pretty good. After some tweaks, this would be available, and I definitely can't wait for when that actually happens, because this is definitely going to be my new gaming, streaming, working, everything desk. Okay, that's it for the video. Remember, like and subscribe for more tech and gaming videos. Hit the notification bell to get notified when new videos come up, and I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao!